What's up, QC fam? It is Queen Chef, Chef Author Healer, and listen, I have a treat for y'all. Another one from my fall series, the fall food series by Queen Chef. So it is so simple. All the ingredients are right here, less than 10 ingredients, and you're gonna have some bomb collard greens, okay? So before I get started though, I have a birthday gift from my dad that I want to open, from my dad and my stepmom, that I want to unbox on camera. So I'm gonna do that today because I needed one of these. So I have here a new cutting board. And I don't know if y'all can see it. It says the kitchen of Queen Chef. Y'all, I'm so stoked about this. I'm so happy about this. I left my last really good cutting board at one of my clients' Airbnb. I am so terrible about leaving my things, but y'all, I'm so happy, and it's right on time. I didn't even tell them that part, but I needed one. I needed a new one. So I am super happy about that. Thank you to my dad. Thank you to my dad and my stepmom. I'm sure it was her idea. For me, I just thought it was really cool, and I wanted to show y'all. So this is my new cutting board y'all will be seeing. So I'm gonna put this away, and we're gonna wipe up and get into our recipe. Y'all, I'm so stoked about this board. It even smells good. Like, it's like a natural wood board, but it has like a smoky smell. I love that. Oh my gosh. But I cleaned it off, and so we're gonna get started. I don't need that just yet, but we're starting with, now, don't judge me, I have a bag of greens. Now, if you want to go get your greens, roll them, cut them yourself, you go right ahead. But I'm going to use this bag of greens, baby, because it's already shredded, already chopped, and ready for me. So I have a bag of greens, 1 stick of butter, my Queen Chef seasonings, of course, from Queen Chef Flavors. Get yours at bookqueenchef.com before you make this recipe. We got the Majestic meats and the Kingdom Come that we'll be using for these greens. I have 2 red onions, some fresh peeled garlic, and my Lipton onion soup. Y'all know that's one of my faves. That's that cheat code to life right there. And I have a few pieces of bacon. The bacon is optional. You don't have to have the bacon, but I got about 4 strips of bacon, 4 strips of thick cut bacon here that we're gonna be topping this off with. If you don't want to do that, leave the bacon out. But let's get started. And one thing I forgot, y'all, my red pepper flakes, of course, for greens, okay? Okay, y'all, so I have the turkey wings cleaned in the pan. I'm gonna put 1 cup of water down there in the bottom of the pan. I'm gonna season this meat with my Majestic meat seasoning from Queen Chef Flavors. And then we're gonna cover that. If you just have a regular pan and foil, just use that. I had some of these, so I'm using them. But if it's just a regular pan with some aluminum foil, that's totally fine. Just cover it up. And you want this to go in the oven for about 30 minutes. While that goes on, our greens are already chopped, so we are gonna bring these over here to the sink, put them in a strainer, and we're gonna rinse these. All right, QC fam, so we're gonna get started. We have our turkey wings in the oven, 30 minutes at 400 degrees. We have our collard greens over there draining. I'm gonna go ahead and chop my onions up. I'm gonna do, these don't have to be really small. All right, y'all, so that's 2 whole red onions. It seems like a lot, but they're gonna cook down, and trust me, they're gonna add to the flavor. So we're gonna go ahead and turn on our eye with a large enough pot for all your greens. Make sure it's big enough. We're gonna put that on like a medium high, so about a 6 or 7 if your stove goes up to 10. The first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna drop that stick of butter in there. All right, y'all, so we have our butter melting on the stove. We have chopped our onions. I'm gonna chop up some of this garlic. So our butter is melted. You are also gonna take a little bit of that smoked pepper avocado oil. I'm running low on mine, but that's the Queen Chef Flavors smoked pepper avocado oil. You want to put a little of that with the butter. You're going to do about a 1/4 cup. All right, so we have our crushed garlic. That was about 6 cloves. We're going to go ahead and put our onions in the butter and oil mix first. Our garlic. Our greens that we have rinsed and cleaned. About halfway through, we're going to go ahead and hit it with some seasoning. So our Majestic meats from Queen Chef Flavors and our Kingdom Come all-purpose seasoning from Queen Chef Flavors. We're going to hit it with both of those. And our crushed pepper flakes. If you like your greens spicy, you can go a little heavy with those.
Here I'm just continuing to add the greens to the pot, stirring them as I go, letting them cook down, and adding more seasoning as I add the rest of those greens in there until they're all in and mixed well. So just continue to do that, continue to saute, let them cook down, and mix the seasonings throughout.
All right, guys, you're going to turn that down to about a 5 after you've mixed everything in all good. Turn that down to about a 5, and then you're going to cover it. Create a little bit of water on its own from the greens and from the extra water from where you rinse them. So you want to cover it, let it cook, reduce it to a 5, come back in about 15 minutes. You want to check on it, make sure it's not sticking to the bottom. You want to stir it, but cover it for about 15 minutes and we'll be back. All right, guys, so 15 minutes has gone by. We have our greens going. A lot of that liquid that was in there has cooked out. And we're just going to basically let our greens keep cooking like this. But we're going to add 2 things right now. That's going to be our Lipton onion. We're going to add 1. And then I'm going to make this hole here in the middle. Just move all the greens to the outside. Make a hole in the middle. And I'm going to cut my bacon right over the top.
So I cut the bacon right over the pan into that middle space that I opened up, guys. And then I just kind of push the greens back to open up that hole even more. And here's what that looks like.
This is where we are now. I just have that bacon in the middle there. It's not a lot of liquid down there. And I'm going to just let that bacon cook right at the bottom. Remember, we're at about a 6, like a medium. We're going to go down. We can go down to about a 4 or 5. Cover that up. Let that continue cooking. We're also going to go ahead and check on our turkey wings now. Ooh. All that steam coming up out of there. I'm going to take a fork in my kitchen shears, and I'm going to just start pulling some of this meat away from the bone. I wish I could just use my hands, but it's hot. I just want to cut it away from the bone. I don't want any of the bone for these greens.
Right here, I just continue alternating between the shears and the fork to get all the meat away from the bones and cut it and chop it as small as I need to. Basically just pulling and shredding it as I go so that it's already small in the size that I want it when I put it into the pot. I don't want to deal with any of the bone. All that can go. You just need to get all of your meat off. The longer it stays in the oven, the easier it will be to just come right off that bone.
I want that meat to continue getting soft and tender, so you're going to cover it up. You've broken it up a little bit to help it out. Now let that go for another 30 minutes so it'll continue to get tender. Our greens, we're going to turn them all the way down until that meat is ready. So that bacon is on the bottom cooking down there. We're going to go ahead and mix everything in. And we're going to go ahead and lower this to about a 3. 3 is good. And just let those continue sauteing low while we wait on that smoked meat in the oven to be nice and tender to mix that in. That bacon is going to cook low and slow, and your greens are going to keep their flavor because it's not a pot full of water. So everything you put on them, you're going to taste. Low, 30 minutes, cover them back up, and we're just waiting on our smoked meat to come out, and we're going to be good to go.
After that final 30 minutes of the smoked meat in the oven and the greens cooking on low for the last 30 minutes, I went ahead and pulled that rest of that meat off. I chopped it up. I broke it up really small as I want to see it in my greens. So what you see here in the video is what I just did with the remaining portions of the meat. I broke it up by hand, and then I just threw it in the pot, mixed all of that in really well. And now I'm going to plate it up for you guys so you guys can see what we ate it with. But you guys know this is fall series. We're getting ready for the holidays. Have it with whatever you like. Please like and subscribe. And here is our final meal. Make sure you click on the other videos to see how to make that honey jerk Cornish hen over there on the side.